When it comes to like pads on your bike, like a lot of you will initially you'll buy like your bike and it'll probably come with like a standalone pad like this.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
Initially it's going to do like the job, but what we generally find is you'll get like a lot of movement on the pad, and sometimes you maybe hit a bump, you might come off the side of it. And nowadays we've got loads on the market, so I'm just going to run through a different few options. It's one of the biggest gains I'm going to say for everybody. If you get the pad placement correct, you get the right pad, the gains in it can be like significant. What it will mean is that you can sustain the position a lot easier. It's more ergonomic around like your arm, so it'll actually hold you in place. And the biggest thing is, if you use the pad correctly, then we can get quite a good few aero gains. So if I just run you through a few of the options, then you can always decide what works best for you. So here we have like what we call like a ride sink pad. This is really good for like, you know, a lot of triathletes. It's got like really good padding on it, and it's got lots of adaptability. Like these are like all pre-drilled, and it'll actually hug your arm into the shape that we want it to into place. So you can just see with the groove of it, then with the arm placement, it'll actually give you a lot of support and comfort. Then we start moving on to like some other pads. This is a 51 Speedshot one. This has been on the market now for, it's probably about a year, and it's got a much higher sided here, and again it's same as the foam that comes into this one, and then we've got like loads of adaptability, you know, like with the plates. So it's, but what the advantage of this one is that we've got like this higher side, and the idea behind this is that when we're riding along we can actually push into the side of it. This will mean that then you'll hear people saying, oh, I shrugged into the position, and all that is we're pushing into the side of the pad, and then we're getting this narrowing, you know, like between the shoulders. And sometimes what can happen is, you know, like you get like a crosswind. You want to go a bit quicker, then if you push into the side of the pad, it'll give you a bit more control over the bike. And again, if you're really looking at like aerodynamics and you want to go quicker, then we know that this shoulder mobility is a key one. For some people, not everybody, but it's definitely something to look at. Then we've got this type of pad. This is a pad from like Drag2Zero, and again you can see like it's got higher sided both left and right, and again this is going to give you the advantage of this pad here, but it's more ergonomic around like the arm shape. On this one we have to actually custom drill like the placement of it. I like to use these a lot in a bike fits because then I can decide exactly where I want that placement to be. But again, we're going to get a bit more of an aero gain out of this. It's also made out of carbon fibre, which again, it just makes the stiffness of the pad a lot more. So when you're trying to push in, you're just going to get like no movement. If you're like looking to optimise like everything, this is definitely a pad to look at. Then we've got the Kismet pad. This is probably one of our most common pads that we use. This is very high-sided. With this pad, we use it a lot with like time trialists, and the idea, but it's all about like the performance gains in terms of like, we'll angle the pad to then rotate the shoulder inwards, and again, we'll push into it. But the stiffness of this, you're never gonna move it. It's got like no movement, but we have to drill each one of these specially to each athlete. And sometimes I say initially when you get like a new pad like this, you just have to remember you've got to come out of the pad. Everybody gets used to that like pretty quickly. But I would say for everybody, if you're looking at like, oh, where do I make like my next performance gain and get more control over the bike, it's changing out the pad that actually comes with it.